Good afternoon or evening, everybody, and welcome back to another weather forecast by Agent Weather Forecast. And this is going to be another update on the potential for a significant Arctic blast and potential developing a snowstorm across portions of the northwestern Rockies, obviously originating from this strong trough dipping here in the jet stream, allowing for that cold air from Canada to sneak its way into the northwest United States briefly early next week here. So that's exactly what we'll be forecasting this video. Going to be seeing a kind of an early sight, or I guess preview of what we're going to be expecting throughout the season of fall. And that's definitely what we are going to be expecting for the next few days between Sunday and Tuesday. Going to be seeing some overall fall like weather and overall pattern changes across the Rockies. As of now, we no longer have any frost advisories or anything like that. At least as what I know of. Actually, never mind. We do actually have frost advisories now across northern Minnesota, but at this point, we have nothing really. I guess fall or I guess more wintry related towards across the Rockies. We don't have any frost advisories anymore. We don't have any obviously freeze warnings, any winter weather advisories, but we're gonna most likely start seeing winter weather advisories and even maybe some frost advisories and maybe even some freeze warnings coming in possibly by this weekend here. But as of now, we only have red flag warnings that we are seeing a critical fire weather across this general vicinity. However, again, as this ridge obviously pushes further east towards the Great Lakes, and this trough is pushed by the Alaskan Ridge. As this Alaskan Ridge goes further eastward, a line for that trough to go further into the United States, currently, which is obviously closer towards British Columbia, but by the next few days, it'll be kind of more deeper into Montana and Idaho, allowing for all those conditions like cold weather and, of course, even snowy weather to be widespread across Wyoming, Montana, and Idaho. So here's a look here at the day. I believe this is day one. This is the day one service map basically. But let's actually get towards day two. So by day two, you're gonna kind of see that little trough right there. There's a trough. It's a kind of more of an open wave trough, with a chance of it being maybe a positive tilted, um, long or positive tilted long wave most likely, if anything. But there's going to be seeing that frozen or even mixed precipitation. Obviously, going to mainly be seeing some snow. We're not going to be seeing much ice, sleet, or even mixed precipitation. It's going to really either just be snow or rain, depending where you are geography wise. So obviously those higher elevations like areas near Helena, Montana, and portions there across north central Idaho, that's where we're going to be seeing the overall best chance to see any chance of seeing any snow, especially across the Sawtooth National Forest across north central Idaho. That's going to be the best chance to see any snow across that area, and the really high elevations with obviously more common rain showers just behind that front, which would be near Boise and across more populated areas, of course, in the lower elevations. But the best chance for snow, at least on day two, obviously that'll be getting into, let's see here, I believe Sunday. That's where we're seeing the best chance for seeing snow near Helena, into Butte, into Missoula, into, of course, even Bitterfoot National Forest, Hamilton, that general area. That's where we're seeing our best chance for snowfall just across the really high elevation in the Rockies. But there's that trough right there. There's a low pressure. There's that really intense cold front with that trough right here. So you're gonna be seeing that cold air kind of just behind that trough, and that's exactly where it's gonna be more of an open wave. But now by day three, obviously the snow is gonna become a lot more widespread now. It's deeper into Yellowstone, so we're gonna be seeing pretty widespread mixed precipitation going all the way down into Colorado by day three, but really widespread chances for snow. Specifically centered just across this area, across Yellowstone. So now we're watching out for some snow near Idaho Falls, maybe a chance for some snow across obviously Yellowstone National Forest near Jackson, Wyoming, as well near Bozeman, Montana, Helena, Montana, Great Falls, Montana, as well can get some in the action. And this snow will become now more widespread. So not only is it going to become obviously into Sawtooth, it's going to kind of move out into kind of those lower elevations like Twin Falls or even Idaho Falls across southeastern Idaho. But there is that low pressure right there. There's a cold front. There you see a stationary front right there, and there's a trough. Obviously, it's going to be more of an open wave, not really a short wave or even long wave. It's not going to be either really a negative or positive tilted trough. It's going to kind of just be more of a short, open, long wave, I believe. So it's going to be more of a long wave. It's going to be a little bit longer lasting. But this is most likely to be more of a open, long wave trough. Uh, but yeah, if it were to kind of be more less intense, it'd probably be an open short wave trough. But this is going to be more of an open long wave trough. And you can kind of just see based on the service map. So definitely watching out for as we go deeper into around basically the Sunday morning all the way into Monday morning time frame. That's where we're seeing the most intense wintry type weather. So let's now look at the overall front forecast. So here's a look by 18Z Saturday. And this is obviously, I believe, what, September 18th? Yeah, September 18th. So there's the overall trough right here. There is the warm front, and there is the cold front, obviously, just behind that trough. So right here in that trough, you're going to be seeing kind of that kind of cold air, really, really pushing that warmer air. So that's going to be seeing right here, the kind of the cool air right there. Or this is going to kind of be the cool air right here, basically. That's just going to be where really that warmer air starts to really cool off. That's where we're going to be seeing that really, really cold air, the below freezing temperatures. And obviously near Seattle and Portland, it'll be kind of more to the 40s. And then there you see that really warming air as the temperatures will start to really warm up. So they're going to start seeing this as early basically as 18Z Saturday. These temperatures will start to cool off dramatically. And then here's going to be seeing that really intense cold front. And there's going to kind of be more of a, again, an open wave. There is kind of a little bit of resemblance here towards probably, at least it's kind of resembling a little bit of a negative tilted trough. But again, it's not really looking like that, where you're seeing that really intense winds. And obviously the isobar is kind of just focusing on to the southeast, which is typically what you see in a negative tilted trough. But by 0Z there on Sunday, they're going to be seeing again really heavy rain across areas behind the actual cold front itself. There is the trough basically now going all the way down to Mexico, and there you see the overall low pressure originating with a trough and then a developing low pressure here. Right there within a 994 millibars across Montana. And then by Sunday now, 12Z Sunday, as we get into the morning hours, you're going to start seeing now some mix becoming more kind of popping up a little bit with some snow across the border of Montana and Canada. But you can kind of see now that really intense rain behind that front as this front pushes to the southwest, or sorry, the southeast. You're going to start seeing that rain really going closer towards Utah and Wyoming, Nevada. And then that mix becoming a little bit more frequent and popping up furthermore as we go deeper into the actual behind. As basically the further west you are of this front itself, the colder you're going to be seeing, the more likely we're going to start seeing that rain converting into snow. And then by now, 0Z on Monday, there you start seeing some snow as well. Basically some overall decent amount of snow across portions there, like I did, across portions of north central, specifically Idaho. Obviously near the overall Sawtooth area, the Sawtooth National Forest, near Ketchum, and that general vicinity near Stanley. That's where we're going to be seeing that snow kind of really popping up first, and then seeing across the Beaverhead, Deer Lodge National Forest, near the border of Montana and Idaho, seeing near Salmon and Dillon. That's where we start seeing that mix becoming a little bit more frequent with some really, really heavy rain to the areas in those higher elevations, in those areas outside the national forest, and those a little bit in the lower elevations compared to the higher areas. That should be seeing that really heavy rain. And then now by 12Z on Monday, we kind of just skip up to that. You can kind of see a little bit of snow popping up across Wyoming. And that's going to be really it, as this really this front rapidly becomes more of a stationary front. And then kind of just stays in place there across Minnesota. And then I start seeing that cold air pushing into the even the eastern United States as well. And then you're going to be seeing kind of a strong ridge behind that. So really warm air going to replace it quickly. So we're going to go straight from the 20s and teens to the 70s back again, as we see a strong overall ridge. And then we're going to start seeing some stormy and colder weather ahead of the east, as we go later into early next week. So we start seeing some really good temperatures and fall-like weather heading for the east after this cold front stays pretty overall significant across the Rockies. So let's actually get the overall look at the overall high temperatures for Sunday, which obviously is going to be the 19th. So this is a look at the high temperatures on Sunday, seeing a really, really strong ridge in place across the central United States. We're going to be seeing some really dry and extremely warm, unseasonably warm weather across this area of over 25 degrees above average. We're going to be seeing some 90s as far north as South Dakota, which is obviously not common for late September. And there you see that kind of cold front. So there you can kind of see this is where the cold front will be September 19th. There's a low pressure. The main low pressure will be there across the Alberta area with the more, I guess, weaker low developing here across the Rockies. So that's going to be the actual cold front itself. And it's going to be kind of the warm front itself right here. And that's going to be seeing that really warm air, really warming up across the Midwest. And with this, these actually will start cooling off. If we actually look at the highs on Monday, there you see they dramatically cool off. But the Midwest, like I mentioned, which is going to be parallel or basically parallel towards the warm front, will obviously continue to see very similar temperatures. And if anything, warming up from 77 there, your Marquette to 81. But like I did mention, the temperatures here that are actually seeing those mid 90s and even upper 80s on Sunday will dramatically cool off now. So we actually have a high from 88 near North Platte to 73. And then a high of 81 near Cheyenne to a high of 63, which is all one day. And even that's actually going to strengthen that ridge dramatically across the central United States. So you can see just by Oklahoma City from 90 to 95, from there near Abilene to 95 to 99, Dallas getting to 96. Basically get really warm across that area, but again, going to continue to really cool off. But look at the highs here on Monday, September 20th, seeing highs into the 50s actually. But as we now go into the actual if we actually look at the low temperatures on Sunday, going to be seeing some lows there across the 40s, the lower 40s, and some spots across the really, really high elevations, like we were mentioning. We'll be seeing some 30s. But look at the difference by Monday there. Really, really dramatic difference. We could basically go from basically the 50s as lows in Nevada to 30s within one day. And then seeing now from 40 to 28 across Oregon. Gonna be seeing actually our coldest temperature here. Look, our coldest temperature will be 13.9 degrees. And that's going to be located across the areas of central Idaho. It's exactly where we're seeing our warmest temperatures, basically. So, like I said, it's going to be really, really actually quite significant. And we're going to be seeing wintry type weather across areas near Sawtooth National Forest in Idaho. I mean, they're going to get absolutely hammered by this cold front. I mean, we're talking teens there. But look at the overall lows there for the Midwest. Some upper 60s there. I mean, look at the difference. We see really dramatically warming as we go into the early week with that strengthening ridge. So going from 49 as a low near Marquette to 59, then to 58, because obviously as that ridge pushes eastward, again, we're going to be seeing a lot warmer air. But as this cold front continues to push eastward, this cold air will continue to become very widespread. Now seeing 14 degrees as a low across now more near Sawtooth, as well as seeing some well below freezing temperatures going all the way up near Colorado. 28 there near Helena, or not near Helena, sorry, near Bozeman. 33 and 32 there across Idaho, getting to some below freezing temperatures near Salt Lake City. And obviously this will continue now. Let's now look at the overall highs on Tuesday. Gonna be seeing some highs now dramatically warming up across the west. So you can actually see a complete different scenario just within Tuesday. You see now these highs across the east will actually start to drop. So going from Tuesday, seeing 80 near Cleveland, then going to 73, then going to 68, sorry. So you can kind of see as well, we're going to start seeing that cold front kind of move in. And then you see the strong ridge now developing back again in the central United States. So going basically from highs in the lower 60s to going back into the 80s. So I hope that explains the overall pattern of this whole ridge and trough. So you guys can get an actual visual though Here's the actual trough itself. There's a really strong trough. Again, gonna be basically short wave. It's not gonna be really. Again, there is gonna be a small chance that it could basically be more towards uh positive tilted. You can kind of see basically a positive tilt. So there is a chance it could be positive tilted. But there's that really strong trough basically right there. And there you see that really strong ridge developing across the United States, allowing for that really warm air across the Midwest and getting some overall unseasonably warm weather, while we're seeing unseasonably cold weather just towards the west here. So very interesting fall pattern we're seeing. And then by Sunday, there you see that trough. There's going to be the actual low pressure itself near Alberta with another trough or another low developing that way. So there's going to be the overall trough itself. But there's the overall outline, and then that ridge obviously really strengthens there near the overall areas of Ontario, moving in further into the east, and that's going to allow for some really warm weather across the Midwest into the late weekend. And then again, as we now go further into September 21st, which is a Tuesday, that's going to allow for that cold air now to push across the eastern United States with a developing ridge into the western United States, basically. So this is going to be a really, really strong ridge, actually, right here near Newfoundland and that general area of Quebec. So really warm weather is going to be expected there into the early weekend. That's going to continue to actually be more of a really slow moving ridge. And then we see some cold air now moving into the early week and throughout much of the next week across the east. Going to be seeing that more negative tilted trough. Looks like it's going to be more of a negative tilted trough. And that's going to allow for some really cold air and stormy weather by the next week. And we can actually see this in the vorticity if we go now kind of towards September 19th. You can kind of see there's a look at the actual trough itself. If we go a little bit more, actually let's go to 500 millibar to get a look. There's the trough there. You're gonna be seeing that really strong trough, so definitely gonna be a big factor into this. If we get a deeper look at the actual trough, looking at 500 millibar height, and there is the overall open wave trough. Basically, there is really gonna be seeing some upper level shear. So going to be seeing as well some stormy weather, and it's going to continue to be it's going to be more of a long wave trough, basically, based on how long lasting it's going to be. So it's going to just be going all across the United States, just tracking like that. And it's just going to go basically eastward. So it's going to be more of an open wave, long wave trough. So we can't really look at the temperatures, but you can kind of see if we go kind of a long lapse, you can kind of just see the overall coldest air will be just after the actual snowstorm, because you're going to be seeing more of that moisture actually near just behind the front itself. But like 2 days after the front moves in, that's where you're seeing the coldest air, as it's going to be a rather large cold front, but you're going to be seeing the most amount of moisture basically near it on the basically day of or the day after that front comes in, which is why you typically see the coldest air the day after the snowstorm. And it's exactly what's going to happen here. And we're seeing basically some lower 30s, and as well getting into the lower 20s there, 19 degrees, 17 degrees actually now. But you can kind of see the temperature's a lot colder the day after, getting a temperature there of 16.5 degrees across Yellowstone. So seeing some overall really, really cold there as the trough moves in, like I did say, then a ridge will develop, and then it'll be back to really, really warm temperatures, getting back into the 60s, but still a few 30s spotted across Yellowstone. Let's take a the overall MSLP, of course, can be seeing kind of some that overall precipitation, mainly rain, start converting by by Sunday actually morning. Start seeing that snow developing across Yellowstone. And actually, the GFS is taking a massive trend toward the east compared to yesterday. So seeing some really good snow across areas near northern Idaho and near Yellowstone, and as well Jackson, Wyoming. Let's actually get a look here as well to the actual accumulation totals. The GFS is really trending, like I just say, eastward, with getting up to 16.2 inches of snow across Yellowstone, getting maybe a few inches near Bozeman, and getting a few scattered snow accumulations across Wyoming there, closer towards the Gillette area, closer towards Casper. Well, let's now get a look at the state view here. Let's go back there. Let's look at the states. I wonder if they actually have Idaho here, and I don't think they actually have Idaho here, but we can actually take a look at Montana. Take a look at Montana here, and there's the overall accumulation. Really good accumulation still across areas near Sawtooth National Forest. So they may not get the most snowfall, but they're going to get the coldest air by far, maybe getting into the mid-teens, and then really good snowfall though. There's 17.7 inches across overall portions of Montana. Here's a look at what the NAM 3 kilometer wants to forecast, though, getting some really scattered areas, but getting nearly 2 feet of snow, of course. This actually seems pretty reasonable, though, considering that it's going to be very, very scattered just on the mountainous areas, so it's not going to be as compact. But again, the GFS is basically smooth, while the NAM isn't smooth. It's more, obviously, not smooth. Basically, it's the opposite of smooth, so that's exactly what this will be. Going to be seeing scattered areas of 3 inches. I mean, there's going to be, like, up to a foot difference between, like, half a mile. I mean, look at this, from here to here. It's going to be just from 0 to basically dead on over a foot because of the scattered difference within elevation. So even some areas near 5,000 may not get snow. That's how these September storms work. It's not till we really get towards early October that areas now closer to Atlanta and below 5,000 start getting the actual good stuff. But areas above that 5,000 always getting some good snowfalls early as even early September. But again, it's going to be very still, although it's northwest, it's still very, very uncommon to get accumulation below 5,000, even 3,000, really this early September.